Hello, everyone, and welcome. My name is Kate. I'm also known as the Daily Tarot Girl, and welcome to Tea and Tarot with Kate. And I just realized I forgot to bring my tea. I was going to make a big pot of tea and have it here so I could sip tea while I did readings, but I completely was scrambling to get ready and I totally forgot. So I just want to take a moment to welcome you. Hello and welcome. I'm going to be doing one card readings today. So if you would like a reading, let me know in the comments. So I can pull, you can ask me a question, or if you just want me to just do a general reading and pull a card, let me know. And I'm also here to answer any questions you might have about tarot. So if you have questions about learning tarot, giving readings, any of that, any tarot related questions, I'm more than happy to answer. So hello, Graham Cracker. Hey, Brittany, Anna, hello, welcome. I'm not sure how many people are going to be on this live stream because I didn't really promote it very well. I kind of mentioned it on my Facebook page and I mentioned it on YouTube, but normally I send out an email and stuff. So it might be a small group of us, but that's good for you because you have a higher chance of getting a reading from me if you want one. Welcome, Lisa. Hello. Hyperboreezy. Hello. TJ. Hey. Margot Ann. Hello. Hello. Welcome. Oh, I love all the hearts and flowers. So nice. So I'll share with you a couple of decks that I'm going to be reading with today. So I've got the Giant Rider Waite deck that I'm going to be reading with. And I basically bought this deck just for doing like live events because look how huge the cards are. I don't have to like do this as much because they're so big. And I'm also going to be reading with a deck called the This Might Hurt Tarot by Isabella Rotman. I'm really liking this deck a lot. So I might kind of switch back and forth between the cards. We'll see. Welcome, Dakota. Welcome, Maja. Hello, everyone. Okay, so let me know if you want me to pull a card for you, and you can let me know if you have a specific question or just a general life area, or if you just want me to randomly pull a card and do like a general reading for you. And of course, if you have any questions about tarot, I'd love to answer any questions that you might have. Okay, and so while I'm waiting for those questions and comments to come through, I just want to let you know that I'm going to be teaching a 4-week tarot course. Classes start on Sunday, and I'm teaching this live. So each week you get to do an hour-and-a-half live workshop with me, which will be recorded, so you don't have to be there live. And the name of the course is called A Date with Your Tarot Deck. And my whole goal with this course is to make you fall in love with your tarot deck and help you connect deeply to your cards and to your intuition so that your readings kind of feel like having a conversation with the universe. I'm really excited for this course. I think it's going to be a lot of fun. It's 4 weeks long. Classes start on Sunday. And if you want to find out more, and yes, TJ, you said you can't wait. Yay! I'm going to put the link here in the comments if you want to learn more about it and check it out. Okay. And if you have any questions for me about my course, feel free. There's only a couple more days left to sign up. So Saturday is the last day that you can sign up, Saturday night. All right. So I'm going to read some comments here. All right. So Lisa, you said, I would love a general reading. Okay. All right, Lisa. So I'm going to shuffle my deck. Okay, what card does Lisa need to see right now? Okay. Oh, it's interesting. Page of Pentacles. This was the card I pulled when I was demonstrating this deck like 1 minute ago. Okay, so you got the Page of Pentacles, Lisa. And the pages are fun. I like the pages because they have this young, youthful energy and they're all about learning. And I feel like you're at this place in your life where you're ready to learn something new. You're ready to be inspired by something. You're ready to be like a student again, back in learning mode. And when I look at the Page of Pentacles, I think of like studying, reading books, taking a class, something like that. And so that's the first thing that pops into my head, is that that's one, like, if you're looking to add some spark to your life, if you feel like there's something missing, it could be that that part of your brain that likes to learn isn't being fully engaged. So learning something new, whether it's a hobby or a skill, that could really kind of motivate you and kind of bring that special pizzazz, that special spark to your life. I also feel like so the page of pentacles, the suit of pentacles, is the most physical suit. This is all about the body. It's all about money, physical things, physical goods, physical matter. And the page is learning about these things. He's learning how his body responds to certain things. So he's learning about health, what ways of eating and exercise work best for him. He's learning about how to take care of his finances, how to take care of his body. And so I also feel like this may also kind of resonate with you a little bit, Lisa. The Page of Pentacles is saying that it's okay to be in learning mode right now. Your body and its needs might, change over time. And so being in learning mode and kind of getting curious and just noticing, like, okay, what kinds of foods work for me? What kinds of eating habits work for me? What kinds of exercise works for me? I feel like that is kind of the message that this Page of Pentacles has for you. All right. Oh, and I meant to put your question on the screen. Okay, so for the next person, I'm going to put your question on the screen. All right. Okay, Swaro, I'm going to show. Okay. I hope you're doing well. Yes, Swaro, thank you. I am doing well. Can I have a card reading on creativity? Okay. So I'm going to shuffle my deck again. The only thing with using a giant deck like the Giant Rider-Waite is that it's not easy to shuffle. I can't shuffle the way I normally shuffle. Okay. So the card you got, Sparrow, for creativity is the Sun. Ah, yes. This is such a nice card to get for this question. So the Sun is a very positive card. It's radiant, it's warm, it's positive, it's optimistic. There's also a playfulness to the Sun. And what I get here is the thing that can really help you in the realm of creativity is playfulness and openness. Notice the child that's riding on the horse in the Sun. He has his arms outstretched. His arms are wide open. And he's smiling too. So some things that will help you get into that creative flow is playfulness, being playful. So not taking your creative path, not taking it too seriously, seeing creativity. And I don't know in what ways you're creative, if you like to paint or you like to dance or sing or what, but the Sun is saying that if you see your creative pursuits as an opportunity to play and be playful, that is really going to help you. So something to avoid is if you're really focused on like, oh, I got to get good at this. I got to practice. I got to get really good. That might take some of the spontaneity and the joy out of the creative process for you. So bringing in that kind of energy of playfulness and openness, those outstretched open arms. It's like, what can you say yes to right now in your life? What can you be open to? The more open you are to different opportunities, different ways of looking at things, the more inspired you will get creatively. So just looking to see if there's anything else I want to say. I'm also noticing the wall in this card. So there's a big brick wall, or I don't know if it's brick. It looks like it's concrete. It's in the background. And to me, that wall symbolizes like a block, something kind of blocking your creativity and getting in the way. So, what I get from this card is that you've experienced this in the past. And right now, I feel like I don't know if you're trying to get over that block. It feels like you've already gotten over that block. But in the future, if you feel stuck, if you feel blocked creatively, ask yourself, how can I be more playful here? How can I bring in that spirit of playfulness to my creative practice? All right. Thank you so much, Toro, for your question. All right. Brittany, can I have a reading for general guidance? Yes, yes, yes. Okay. Okay, so Brittany, the card that I've got for you is Nine of Pentacles. All right. Nine of Pentacles is what I call the luxury card. There's a rich lady on this card, and it's not just a card of luxury, but it's also a card of feeling content and being able to relax and take a breath. So you're not always having to strive for things. So you asked for general guidance right now. So when I look at the Nine of Pentacles, the Nine of Pentacles is saying, slow down a little bit. In fact, I think this card might have come up recently in one of my weekly readings. And when I was talking about that card, I pointed to the snail that's right here at the very bottom of the card. And that snail is a symbol of slowing down and going slow. So when I look at the Nine of Pentacles, it's saying, stop and smell the roses. Take your time. Don't be in a big rush. It's okay to have goals and all of that, but don't get so focused on the destination that you lose sight of the whole journey, because it's the day-to-day that's really important. So that's one message I get with this card. The other message is to make sure you take time to enjoy life, to enjoy yourself. And it doesn't have to be elaborate. It could be just pausing throughout the day to just take a few deep breaths, or really like be present when you're, sipping your morning coffee, just really enjoying the flavors and just really be present. That's what I'm getting from this card. So I hope that resonates. All right, I'm going to scroll down to the bottom of the comments here. And again, if anyone has any questions about learning tarot, giving readings, I'm open to answering those questions as well. Okay, so I'm going to do Margot Ann. Hello. Thank you for your question. I'd love to know about the month of May. Okay. All right, so the card I'm going to draw for you, Margot Ann, for the month of May is Page of Wands. So another page today. All right, so Page of Wands. So the month of May, this is a month to really pay attention to energy. So Page of Wands is learning about energy and how it functions and how he can conserve his energy, how he can direct his energy, what builds his energy, what drains his energy. So for the month of May, the more you learn about your own energy and how to manage it, the more you'll be able to make the most out of this month. So learning and getting a sense of what kinds of things sap your energy. What are your energy drains? And what kinds of things build your energy? And when you plan ahead for the month of May, make sure that, and it's okay if there's maybe some things that you've got planned in May that are going to be, I don't want to say energy drains, but things that are going to require a lot of your energy to do. That's fine, but make sure that you alternate and make time and room for things that bring you energy. Now, for me, that might be spending time doing something creative, or spending time just having a nap, or reading a trashy romance novel or something like that. Just kind of spacing in those things that will help you build up your energy throughout the month so that you're not burning the candle at both ends. And then also, I get a sense of Page of Wands is also about directing your energy into things. Now, I think this is interesting because in the background of this card, we have the pyramids, and I'm reminded that I'm doing a deep dive series on my YouTube channel, and the Page of Wands is the next card that I'm going to be doing, and I'm in the process of writing the script for it right now. And this is something I'm going to say in that video. If you notice the pyramids supposedly in ancient times, I read this somewhere. I don't know if it's true, but I like it. Apparently, they were like for directing energy. So the way that they're shaped, they're designed to pull, I think, to pull energy down from the universe, from the stars, and disperse it on the earth. Or maybe it was the other way around. I can't remember. Maybe both. Maybe it can be used both ways. But it's all about directing energy. So a question I have for you for the month of May is, what are you going to be directing your energy towards? I think the more aware of that you are, the better. Okay, so thank you so much, Margot, for your question. Okay, Anna says, let's see if Anna, okay, Anna, you say, you may also have a conversation with your decks while reading, I imagine. My question is, do you feel sometimes the cards are being snappy, borderline rude? Why is that? How do you deal with this? Yes, I do feel like that sometimes. And it really depends on the deck I'm reading. I have some decks that to me feel snappier than others. And some decks, it sometimes feels like they're giving you the cold shoulder when you're asking questions. So I do find that happens. Why is that? I notice it happens when I this is gonna sound kind of wild, but it happens if I feel like I've kind of been neglecting a deck. Maybe I've only been picking up that deck from time to time and asking it demanding questions, and then just putting it back on the shelf. If you, and this is relates to the course that I'm teaching, A Date with Your Tarot Deck. So this is one of the things I emphasize in the very first class is how you treat your deck matters. So the way that you treat it has a big impact on the quality of your readings and the kinds of answers and responses you're going to get. So I think that if you're doing a reading and you feel like your cards are kind of snappy, taking a moment to just really connect with that deck. So maybe just taking a minute to sit holding the deck, breathing into your cards, sending your cards some warm, loving, welcoming energy, just taking a moment to connect with your cards. And when you're finished the reading, say thank you so much. I sometimes give my cards a little kiss. I'll say thank you. And, wrapping them in silk, or you don't have to wrap your cards in silk, but storing your cards in a way that feels good for you. Maybe even sometimes I'll have like a little quartz crystal that I'll put on top of my cards. I just think that the way you handle your cards and the way you treat your cards really is important. So if your cards are feeling snappy, maybe your deck is feeling a little bit neglected. Thanks so much for that question. That was fun. Okay, Dakota. You're in a major transitional period and wondering, is it time for me to take action? Or is it time for me to rest and wait things out a little longer? All right, great question. Okay, so Dakota, the card I'm going to draw for you is... Ooh, the Devil. Okay, really intense. Really intense card. Okay, transitional period. Is it time to take action? Is it time to rest? All right, so this card isn't so much saying take action or rest. It's not really speaking to that. The devil is all about the things that keep us stuck and the things that clip our wings, the things that take away our freedom. And so when the devil shows up in a reading, it shows up for two reasons. It shows up because you're ready for more freedom. You're at a point in your life where you're ready to kind of let go of some of the things that are keeping you stuck. You're ready to kind of break those chains, step out of that and step into more freedom. But the devil also shows up to ask you, how are you giving your power away? What are you giving your power away to? And sometimes this could be beliefs you have about yourself or what's possible, what's not possible. It sometimes is an internal thing, like your own beliefs. It could be you're giving your power away to another person or an institution or a fantasy or an ideal. I think it's valuable to ask yourself from time to time, just check in. Am I giving my power away to anyone or anything? So that's one thing I get with the devil. What's interesting though is you say you're in this major transitional period, and I will say that major transitional periods are often a time where things get shaken up and we become more aware of certain things that are holding us back. Whereas when you're not in a time of transition and everything's going smoothly, we kind of get into this habitual pattern. And sometimes we kind of don't notice when we're giving our power away, or we don't notice how we're stuck in a rut. And then once things start to shift and change, some of those old patterns become more visible and become more obvious. So I think times of transitions, it's almost like a time of transition is an opportunity to change certain patterns and to get unstuck, essentially. So that's what I'm getting with the devil, is that this is a great this period of your life right now is a really good opportunity to step out of certain patterns that you've been in for a long time. It's an opportunity to get unstuck in certain areas of your life in certain ways. So I don't really have a clear answer to, is it time to take action or is it time to rest? I would say it's time to be observant, and to just notice what patterns are being disrupted right now. What patterns you're ready to step out of. Okay, thank you so much for your question. I hope that was helpful. All right, let's see. Okay, I'm gonna answer this question. Okay, Swaro, you said, as a Christian, I struggle with tarot. I have a bunch of tarot decks and some oracle cards, but I'm afraid to post myself giving readings to others. What is your advice or opinion in this situation? Yeah, so I don't think like tarot can just be a private personal hobby. You don't need to broadcast that you do readings unless you're wanting to read professionally, or if you're just wanting to get out there and give more people readings and let it be known that you're offering readings to people. Um yeah, I mean, it's totally fine to just keep things to yourself and pick and choose who you share it with, right? There's going to be some people in your life that will be more open to tarot, that you can share it with. So yeah, I'm curious if you're wanting to read professionally or what, because you said, I'm afraid to post myself giving readings to others. I think at the end of the day, like, you can't please everyone, right? And some people might react negatively to you sharing that you read tarot. And I think that it is something to consider. Is that something you're willing to is that a challenge you're willing to accept? Or does it feel better to just keep this practice to yourself for a little while, which is totally okay as well. I feel like myself, I'm very lucky in that I don't have really anyone in my life who reacted negatively to me being a tarot reader. And I live in a community in a town where people are pretty open minded to that sort of thing. So it's just never been an issue for me. But I know that everyone's different in where they live and what their community is like. And so for some people, that might be, they might be in a very different situation in that regard. And so it really is something to consider, I think. So, what advice do I have? If this was me, if I lived in a community that was maybe not welcoming to tarot, but this was something that I loved and I wanted to offer readings to people, I would maybe just pick and choose who I shared that with and start with just sharing it with a few close people who you think might respond positively and then see what happens. See where that takes you. Okay, thank you so much for your question. Okay. All right, so I'm going to do a reading for, let me just scroll up here. Oh, Jeanette. Okay, Jeanette, can I have a reading for a new job? All right. All right, so actually, Jeanette, you know what? I'm going to ask for clarification. You say, can I have a reading for a new job? Is this a new job that you just got? Or is this are you looking for a job? I'm going to wait for clarification. So I'm actually I'm going to take you off the screen. I'll read for you next, unless you've been really fast responding. Let's see. I don't see a response yet. So I'll wait till I hear back from you on clarification before I do a reading for you. Okay, so I'm going to pull a card for TJ. Thank you, TJ, for your question. Okay, so you just want a general reading. Perfect. Okay. So the card that most wants to show itself to TJ is Eight of Cups. All right. So Eight of Cups this is a card of transition, but it's a card of searching for something and maybe walking away from something, leaving something behind. So it can sometimes come up when you're feeling like maybe you've been putting a lot of effort into something and it's just not going anywhere, or it's not bringing you the emotional fulfillment that you thought it would. And so you're at this point where you're feeling like you don't just want to keep doing the same old thing if it's not working. You don't just want to keep going through the motions. You're looking for a little bit more fulfillment. And it's fulfillment in more of the emotional sense. It's not just about money or ego or anything like that. This is about feeling emotionally fulfilled. And that's something you might feel like, things are pretty good right now, but there's just something missing. There's just a little something that I'm looking for. And so the Eight of Cups can be just sort of encouraging you. And I'm curious if that resonates, but the Eight of Cups is encouraging you to not give up on your search. I think sometimes when we feel like something is missing, we think, well, maybe this is just how things are meant to be. Like maybe I should just be grateful for what I have and accept things. But sometimes that feeling that just a little something is off, it can also act as kind of an impetus, as something that gets you moving and moving towards where you need to go. So don't give up searching. If you're searching for something and you're feeling a sense of like longing or thirst for something, don't give up searching for that thing. And in that search, you may be asked to leave certain things behind, to let certain things go so that you can make room for something new. Okay. All right. So thank you so much, TJ, for your question, and I hope that resonates. And I'm going to, okay. So Jeanette, I'm going I think Jeanette, was that? Just want to make sure you were, yes. Okay. So Jeanette, you have a job, but you want a new job. Okay, perfect. Okay, so I'm going to draw a card, a new job card for you, Jeanette. Oh, okay. Oh, High Priestess. Nice. All right. See, I love these big, huge cards because I don't have to put them like right up to my camera. Okay, so you got the High Priestess. I love this card. This is maybe one of my maybe my all-time favorite in this deck. So you want a new and better job. So the High Priestess is a mystical character in the tarot. She's very mystical. And whenever she shows up in a reading, she is kind of beckoning you to explore the invisible realms. So to move inward and explore your intuitive abilities, your psychic abilities, being able to go inward and commune with your soul, or to commune with your spirit guides or your ancestors. All of this is in the realm of the High Priestess. And what I'm getting from this is that you're experiencing, you don't feel satisfied with the job you're in. You want a different job, a better job. But I feel like there is a spiritual tie-in here. There's a spiritual basis to this. This is somehow linked to your spiritual journey. I don't know how, but there is a tie-in there. And I think so if I wasn't reading tarot and I was just your friend and you said, I want a better job, I want a different job, I might be tempted to say, okay, you got to get out there, you got to redo your resume, you got to start applying for jobs, et cetera, et cetera. Got to start looking for another job. But what I get with the High Priestess is that there is some sort of deep spiritual exploration that you need to do first. And I don't know why, but it's almost like you need to move inward and communicate with your soul, with your higher self, with your guides, so that you can get clear on what it is that you're wanting. So that when you make that next step in getting a new job, it's not just going to be a lateral move. It's going to be a step up for you. So there's some sort of spiritual communing that needs to happen first before making that change. And you can do that through meditation, meditative journeying, maybe just journaling is enough for you, maybe dream work. There's all different ways that you can work with that part of yourself. But that's what I'm getting from the High Priestess. Oh, Laura, you said, I wanted to thank you for all I have learned with you. Oh, thank you, Laura. So good to hear. Yes, you can have a general tarot reading for sure. Okay, so Laura, I'm going to shuffle my cards here. Okay. Okay, Laura. So the card I have for you is Page of Swords. So this is interesting because this is the third page that we've had so far. And I always find when I do these lives, there's always like a theme with some of the cards. So certain cards will keep showing up again and again, but it looks like a lot of the pages are making an appearance here. Okay, so Laura, you got the Page of Swords. Okay, so as a general reading, what I notice about the Page of Swords is all the movement and motion around him. The ground that he's standing on is uneven and it almost looks like it's rolling, like it's moving around. And then it looks like it's breezy, like his hair and clothing is kind of being blown by the wind and there's clouds. So it feels like for you in your life right now, it might feel like there's a lot going on and you might be trying to find your footing. Like there might be a lot of moving parts and a lot of things changing and a lot of it might feel like chaos to you, or it just might feel like things shifting, things changing, and you're just kind of trying to get your bearings. So that's the first thing I get when I look at this card. The other thing I get is there's almost a tiredness a little bit with his stance because he's kind of at the ready. He's posing with his sword. He's like ready for something, but he's looking over his shoulder. Like he has to kind of look behind him, like he's not quite trusting something behind him. So he's kind of keeping an eye out. He's trying to be aware of things, but he's also at the ready. And all of this can really kind of be exhausting. So I'm going to draw a second card because I feel like, and I'm curious to hear from you, Laura, if this makes sense or if it doesn't make sense. Feel free to tell me, no, that didn't make sense if it doesn't. But I'm just kind of getting, what I'm getting from this is just kind of a snapshot maybe of what's something that's going on for you. And I feel like, so earlier I said the pages are students, they're learning. And the Suit of Swords is the mental suit. This is about focusing your mind, working with your thoughts, working with your beliefs. And so the Page of Swords is learning how to do that. He's learning how to make his mind work for him rather than the other way around. And he's learning how to really focus his thoughts on things and how to get focused, how to stay calm. Those are things that he's learning and working on. Okay, so Laura, you say yes. Okay. Okay, so I want to draw another card here. So one thing I get from the Page of Swords is it saying, start to change the relationship you have with your own mind and your thoughts. Your mind is there to work for you, not against you. And so there's a lot of power in paying attention to your beliefs and the thoughts that you think again and again and again, those repetitive thoughts. So that's kind of step one. But let's just draw another card because I feel like I want a little more advice to give you, or a little more guidance. Oh, another court card. Okay, here we have the Knight of Wands. So the Knight of Wands is all about taking action, and he is very adventurous. So what I get with the Knight of Wands is, if there's anything that you're struggling with, sometimes reframing it as an adventure, which I know might sound kind of annoying. But if you're stuck with something or you're trying to figure something out, thinking, okay, this is a challenge. This is like a puzzle, or this is like some sort of journey or adventure that I'm going on. Sometimes just reframing it that way can help you see it as a process rather than a problem. And that can change your relationship to the thing that you're working on. So that's one thing I get with the Knight of Wands. The Knight of Wands is also a card of taking action and movement. And I think that the Page of Swords here, his problem is that everything around him is moving, but he's trying to stay still. Whereas the Knight of Wands is charging forward. So I think that trying to stay still and trying to keep everything as it is and trying to hold on to things is only going to bring you a sense of frustration and stress and pain. Whereas kind of taking action on things, moving in whatever way that means. It could mean physically moving your body. It could mean taking action on things that you've been putting off for a while. And a question I'll pose to you is, what does that mean to you if I say, bring in more movement to your life? Don't be afraid to move forward or to move sideways or to move in some way. What does that mean to you? What comes up for you? Because it feels to me like if you try to stand still, things will be stressful and difficult, but moving is actually going to feel exhilarating. Okay. Thank you for letting me read for you, Laura. All right. Yay, welcome, Ro. You're a first timer and a new subscriber. Yay, welcome. Let me know if you want me to pull a card for you. Okay, tarot for self-help, general reading for me. Okay. All right, so I'm going to shuffle my cards here. Like I said, the big giant rider Waite deck is really tricky to shuffle. It's the only downside. All right. Ooh, the Lovers. Okay. Okay, so the Lovers this is an interesting card. This is one of those cards that I sometimes struggle with a little bit, especially when I'm just doing a general reading, getting the Lovers. But the Lovers, there's so much going on with this card. What I get when I look at it is there's two elements, main elements. We have the man and the woman, which is kind of masculine, feminine energy. And to me, it feels like there is two different parts of yourself. And on this card, we see masculine and feminine, but I actually feel like for you, it could be, for example, like part of you that's really creative and expressive, and then another part of you that's more introverted and shy, or two other parts of yourself. But it feels like there's two parts of yourself that you're really wanting to integrate and bring together so that they don't feel so separate. And that's the first thing I get with the Lovers, is that you're kind of in that process. And that being able to integrate these two sides of your personality, these two parts of who you are, will actually make life easier for you. The more you can integrate these two things together, it will help you feel more creative. It will help you feel more motivated, more energized. So that's one thing I'm getting with this card. The other thing I'm getting is the mountain in the background. The mountain in the background feels like something is coming to a head. Something is coming up. Something's coming to a head. It's not a volcano, but it's like something is coming up for you. And I feel like it's related to, again, kind of related to integrating these two different parts of yourself. And as I look at the card, I'm noticing on one side there's a burning bush, and to me that feels like passion, something that you're really passionate about. And then on the other side there's the snake in the tree, and to me that snake is a symbol of reinventing yourself, shedding an old skin. So I feel like there's these two themes of wanting to shed your old skin, wanting to maybe reinvent yourself, and also wanting to integrate something that you're really passionate about. And all of that sort of coming to a head and wanting to be faced. So I'm going to leave that with you. I'm going to leave that there. It feels very exciting. I hope that resonated. I hope that made sense. I kind of feel like I was sort of going out there with that card. So hopefully that made sense for you. All right. Okay, BJ. Oh, thank you, BJ. Okay, so I'm going to, okay. All right. Love your deep dives on the major arcana. Oh, thanks. Can you please pull a career card for me as well? Unsure of the direction to go. Okay. Okay, I'm glad you like my deep dives. And that's a series that I haven't made a video in a long time, but I am going to get back into it really soon. Career card. Okay. All right, BJ. So got the two of swords. And it's funny because you said, I'm unsure of the direction to go. And this is exactly what the Two of Swords is about, being unsure of what direction to go in. And perhaps there's, one direction and another direction, or maybe there's more than just two directions that you can go. but that feeling of being unsure. Now, the figure in this card has a blindfold on, and that is a symbol of like not being able to see things. So feeling conflicted and unsure and having to make a decision without having all of the information at your fingertips. Now, the message I get with the Two of Swords is that now is a time where you're going to be kind of forced to rely on your instincts and your intuition and having to kind of feel your way forward and make decisions, maybe not based on information, because you might not have enough information, but being forced to move forward in an intuitive way and kind of feeling your way forward, which can feel scary if you're not used to doing things that way. And it can feel, it can feel kind of scary and different. Okay, so you're unsure of what direction to go. So I feel like Two of Swords is just confirming how you feel and saying, yeah, you're going to have to use your intuition. You're going to have to rely on your intuition, maybe more than your intellect and more than information, because you may not have all the information needed. I'm going to draw one more card for you. Okay, we have Judgment is the second card. Judgment is all about reinventing yourself, and we have people popping out of coffins here. So they're being called by this angel. They're popping out of coffins. They're being reborn. And so there is this element of starting fresh, starting something new, reinventing yourself. And it feels like you may feel called to do that. You may be, for career, it's not about just making a lateral move or doing something different. This is about maybe even changing your career completely. But what's going to be important for you is to listen to that call. So you have an inner calling. Your intuition is always speaking to you. And even though you say, I don't know what direction to go in, there's probably a direction that you feel called to go in. And maybe you talk yourself out of it. Maybe you think, no, that could never work. But we all have this inner calling. We all have a call. There's always an urge to go in a particular direction. And sometimes that urge and that voice gets covered up by all kinds of things. And so your task might be to uncover that so that you can really hear that inner calling. So this sounds like a cop-out answer, but I feel like the cards are telling you to really pay attention to your intuition, pay attention to what your soul is calling you to do. And that can be scary. That can be challenging. That's not easy, but that's the message I'm getting from the cards for you. All right, so thank you so much for your question. Okay, so I'm going to scroll up a little bit. Oh, Danny, you said my tarot definitions help you so much. Thank you. I'm so glad to hear that. Okay, Lori, I hope, Lori, that you're still here. Okay, could I have a general reading? I enjoy your Friday or end of week reads for the following week. Yay! So good to hear. Oh, my camera looks blurry. Hold on. Sometimes this makes it a little bit clearer. Okay. I don't know if that worked. Okay, so a general reading. Okay, Lori, I'm gonna switch decks for you. I'm gonna switch over to my This Might Hurt Tarot. So this is the deck I'm gonna switch over to. And this is actually a Rider-Waite based deck, so it's very similar in some ways to the Rider-Waite deck. But I think it's just a little bit prettier. Actually, it's a lot prettier. So while I'm shuffling, I just want to let everyone know that I'm going to be teaching a 4-week tarot course. Classes start on Sunday. So the name of the course is called A Date with Your Tarot Deck. And it's an open level course for tarot readers or tarot students of all levels. It's going to be really fun. And the theme of the course is connection. So I'm going to help you really connect to your tarot deck and your tarot cards and connect with your intuition so that your readings will just feel, we'll have that special spark. We'll have that special feeling of magic. And then there's also a class on connecting all the cards in the reading and then connecting the wisdom of the reading to your day-to-day life. So there's 4 live classes, and then there's also some Q&As and tarot practice sessions. You'll get lots of workbooks, worksheets. It's going to be a really fun course, but the last day to sign up is Saturday. So I'm actually going to put the link to my course in the comments if you want to check it out. Okay, I just posted it. And if anyone has any questions about my course, feel free to ask. Okay, so Lori, I got the Wheel of Fortune for you. All right. So the Wheel of Fortune, that's interesting. We have a snake on this card too, and fire. So on one side, we have a big, like a forest fire. There's burning trees on one side. And then we have the green snake on the other side of the wheel. And then we have the mountains in the background. So there's a lot going on here. So I feel like the fire can represent passion. It can also represent burning away something, destroying something, getting rid of something. The mountains to me are like peaks. They're like goals, challenges that you're facing, like climbing a mountain. And then that green snake is this symbol of, well, the snake is a symbol of like immortality, infinity, but also kind of shedding your old skin, like rebirth, reinventing yourself. So a lot going on in this card. Actually, there's a lot going on. Okay, so then there's also, I'm just really drawn to the way the Sphinx woman on the card is holding the sword. So it feels like right now for you, Lori, is a time for you to get really kind of tough and be almost ruthless in cutting away, like clearing clutter, simplifying things, cutting away what isn't working, what's holding you back, what's draining your energy, what's cluttering up your space, and just being very intentional about what you're putting your focus on and where you're putting your energy. So that's one piece of the puzzle. The other piece is the wheel is also about centering yourself. And as the wheel turns, as the wheel goes round and round, things are always changing. Life is always in flux. Things are always in flow. There will be times where it's time for you to clear the clutter, get rid of things. Then there's a time where it's, okay, it's time to really focus on something. And then it's like, okay, now I'm really challenged. So now it's time to focus on this challenge, getting over this hump. And if you can center yourself, if you look at the wheel, if you can center yourself in the middle of that wheel, the round and the round motion is not going to be pulling you this way and that way. Whereas if you situate yourself on the edge of the wheel, you feel that round and around and around motion. So the Wheel of Fortune is saying, you know, you might have a lot going on right now and things are always changing. But if you find a way to really center your energy and center yourself, so having some sort of regular practice to do this, whether it's a breathing exercise, a meditation, a habit, something you do every day that just helps you kind of ground and center your energy, that's really going to help you navigate those changes and help you kind of make the most out of the opportunities that come your way, if that makes sense. Okay, thank you, Lori, for letting me read for you. Okay. Okay, I'm just going to scroll down. Okay, Laura, good. I'm glad my reading resonated. Okay, sorry, I'm just reading all the comments here. Bear with me. I'm going to go right down to the bottom. Okay, Francis Smith would like to know what is blocking me from finding the right house. Okay. So I'm going to shuffle my deck here. And as I'm shuffling, I will say, for those of you who just joined or haven't been here long, in addition to doing one card readings, I'm also answering any questions you might have about tarot, about learning tarot, about giving readings, getting readings, learning the cards, the meanings, all of that stuff. So if anyone has any questions about tarot, feel free to ask me those too. Okay, so Francis, I'm going to draw a card for you. What's blocking you from finding the right house? Ten of Swords. Okay. So Ten of Swords is one of those, I just want to wait for my camera to focus on it. This is one of those, my camera doesn't want to focus. It's one of those intense cards. We have a woman with 10 swords in her back and she's lying face down in a pool of blood. And the skies are red and cloudy. So really, really intense. The 10 of Swords, it represents a couple of things. So number one, being stuck. I mean, this woman on this card is literally stuck in the back with these swords. So 10 of Swords can come up when you're just feeling really, really stuck, which you said, something's blocking you from finding the right house. But it can also represent some sort of wound that needs healing. And as you heal that wound, you become unstuck. And what's interesting to me is that this wound that needs healing may not be it may not be obvious what it is. And it may not, when you discover what it is, it might be like, oh, weird that this would be tied in with me finding a new house. Like it might be something that feels totally unrelated to hunting for houses, right? So the question that this card asks is do you feel like there is some sort of wound that is ready to be healed? And the 10 of Swords is a minor arcana card. So this may not be, despite the fact that this is a really dramatic card, this might not be a massive wound. This could be a wound of a smaller nature that is just needing to be healed and released. And as you heal that wound, even if it's something tiny, it frees up the energy and it changes the pattern, and it may have an effect on your house hunting. So I don't know if that was clear as mud or not, what I just said. But yeah, there's definitely this feeling of needing to get unstuck. Now, I'm curious if in your search for finding a house, is there anything that you're still upset about? Like maybe you put in an offer in a house and someone else outbid you, and you lost it. Like, is there anything like that that's like bothering you that you need to let go of? That's one thing that comes to mind. Yeah, so hopefully what I said resonated. I don't know how helpful that was. I don't know if I really helped you or not there. But there's nothing else that I can think of to say about this card. Other than the 10 of Swords represents the end of this suit. And so sometimes things get really, really, really bad before they get better. And so you might feel really, 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 really stuck, and then things will lift. That's the one thing I want to say about the 10 of Swords, is that it shows that you're sort of, at the end of something. And that usually with the 10 of Swords, it's like things get worse before they get better. That's usually how I see that card. Okay. So Laura, you said, how do you make the tarot cards relate to each other in a 3-card reading, telling a better tarot story? Well, Laura, if you sign up for my 4-week class, A Date with Your Tarot Deck, I will teach you that. There's one whole workshop in that course just on connecting the cards in a reading. And I'll teach kind of my favorite 3-step process for connecting the cards. But to answer your question now, how do you make the tarot cards relate to each other in a 3-card reading? You look for, I mean, there's different methods. There's all different ways. The most simple way to answer that question is you look for any patterns or you look for any repeat symbols. Now, if you watch any of my weekly tarot forecast readings that I post on my channel, I always read with 3 cards there. And I always link the cards together at some point in the reading. So you can watch those readings and get kind of a sense of how I do it in those readings. Usually what I do is I'll read each card individually, then I kind of zoom out and I look to see, okay, are there any elements that are similar in these cards? Or do the cards tell a linear story? Like if you're looking at 3 cards together, see each card as representing a sentence in a paragraph. The 3 cards make the paragraph. Each card is like a sentence. Does card 2 follow from card 1 and then card 3? Like, can you tell a linear kind of story with those cards? So that's one thing to kind of practice is storytelling. And I think that practicing outside of the context of a reading can be really powerful. So just drawing 3 cards randomly, like I'm not reading, I'm just going to throw down 3 cards. I've got 4 of Pentacles, 9 of Pentacles, the Hermit. How can I link these 3 cards together? How can I tell a story? And just practice doing it. And then when you're doing a real reading, that act of linking the cards together and spotting the story will feel natural to you. But it does take a little bit of practice. Thank you for that question. That's really good. Okay. Honey the Influence says, how do you get a reading? If you want me to pull a card for you, Honey, just type in the comments, just request a card. Or if you have like a specific question or topic you want me to read on, let me know. And I might draw a card for you. Okay. Okay, Maria. Hello, Maria. Welcome. Okay. I would like to know if this relationship is still offering something for me. And you still go to my videos for comfort. Oh, thank you. Thank you so much. Okay, so I'm going to shuffle my deck. So you want to know if this relationship is still offering something for you. All right, so the card you most need to see right now in relationship to that question is Page of Pentacles. So another page. We've already had the Page of Pentacles, but from a different deck. So let's see. Page of Pentacles. So what I'm getting from this card, I'm just struck by 2 things on the card. So the mountain in the background, that to me looks like a peak, something coming to a head, a challenge that needs to be overcome. And then the way that the page on this card is looking at the pentacle. She's really studying it, observing it. And to me, it feels like you've reached a place in this relationship where you are kind of contemplating, you're observing it. You're asking, does this relationship still work? Does it still offer something for me? So you're at this place where you're assessing, you're observing, and at the same time that mountain in the background to me represents some kind of challenge. So either there's some sort of challenge that you're going through in your relationship, and it might not be an obvious challenge. It might just be a subtle challenge, like feeling kind of disconnected from that person, perhaps. So it might not be a real in your face kind of challenge. It might be, a little more subtle. Um, okay. I don't know if I have a clear answer for you on your question. Is this relationship still offering something for me? I think that it's this relationship is offering a learning opportunity for you. And I think that as you're studying this relationship and thinking about it and contemplating, you're getting to know yourself better. So there is this self knowledge that is acquired through this relationship. And that would be true of any relationship. It's not just this one. Um, so I think it serves that function and that you're learning about yourself. I think to me, when I look at the Page of Pentacles, you're learning about what nourishes you, what sustains you. If we think of the page as being a student and the suit of pentacles being the physical suit, so relating to the body, food, money, health, physical stuff, what I get here is you're as you're going through this relationship and learning about yourself, you're also learning about what sustains you, what nurtures you, how you can support yourself, how you can nourish yourself. And I think once you're really able to provide that sense of nourishment to yourself, it sets you free in your relationship because then you're no longer searching for that nourishment from the relationship. You can enjoy the relationship for what it is, and you can decide, is this something that's nourishing for me? Is this something that adds to my life? Or is it something that takes away from things? Is it something that just isn't working? So I feel like with the Page of Pentacles, I know I'm kind of rambling on and on about this card, but I feel like the first step is to take care of yourself, provide that sense of nourishment and care and grounding to yourself first. And then that puts you automatically in a good place where you can look you can address this question, is this relationship working for me still? And I feel like that's going to allow you to see things more clearly if you're able to give yourself some of that nourishment and support first. So hopefully that made sense. Okay, I feel like my camera is blurry again. Okay, I'm just going to turn my light down. I feel like it's really really bright. Okay. All right. Let's see here. Okay, so Laura, you said, is it for Canadians, your class? Yeah, so I'm Canadian, I live in Canada. The class is for anyone. So you don't have to live in Canada to do the class because it's all online. The time zone, the time of the class, the live classes are at 11 a.m. Pacific time on Sundays. And then I also have some bonus live events on Thursdays. But the classes are on Sundays. And you can be anywhere in the world to take my class. And if the time doesn't match up for you, I do record the classes so you don't have to be there live. Yeah, so hopefully that answers your question. Okay. Just scrolling up to see if I missed any questions. I think I didn't miss any, but I could be wrong. Okay. So Graham Cracker, you said you missed me. Oh no. Okay, hold on. I'll scroll up here. Okay, so your question was, how do my ancestors feel about me and my actions lately? I don't know if I can read on this question just because I'm not very good at reading on like what other people are thinking or feeling. But you know what? I'll draw a card and we'll see. We'll see what happens. Oh, I feel like I'm so blurry. I don't know if I'm imagining if I'm blurry. Let me know if do I look blurry? Oh, there we go. Okay, I'm clear. I'm clear again. Okay. So I'll draw a card on this question, but I don't know. I don't know if I can give you a clear answer because I feel like I'm not the best at reading into the thoughts and feelings of other beings, but let's just see what card comes out. Okay, so the card you got is Seven of Swords. Ooh, okay, this is kind of a challenge card. This is a tricky one. Seven of Swords shows a guy running away from a house with a bunch of knives, and he's kind of looking behind him. Whenever the Seven of Swords comes up in a reading, I read it as an invitation to be more true to yourself. And sometimes the Seven of Swords, and I can't answer your question directly, how your ancestors feel about you and your actions lately, but what I'm getting from this card, as it relates to that, is sometimes the Seven of Swords will come up if you feel like you're needing to like walk on eggshells or tiptoe around. And there's maybe a part of you that wants to just walk boldly and freely, but a part of you is like, no, 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 I can't do that. And so the Seven of Swords is this invitation to live more authentically and to express yourself a little more openly and to not wear a mask and hide yourself or pretend to be someone that you aren't just to keep the peace. So a question that this card has for you is, are you really trying to keep the peace or trying to not upset certain people and really altering who you are and your behaviors just to kind of keep other people happy? That's kind of a question that this card has. And so it's an invitation to, what would, if you were to live your life more authentically, if you were to be honest with yourself about what you really want, what's really important to you, what comes up? And if you were to live from that place of living from your values and from, what's important to you, what would you do differently? What things might you change? That's what I get with the Seven of Swords. So when you talk about your actions lately, don't worry about what your ancestors think. What do you think? What do you think about your actions lately? Have your most recent actions, are they in alignment with your soul, with who you are and your values? If they're out of alignment with your values and what's important to you, then this is a time to learn and to observe that and see if you need to make changes. But if it's in alignment, then yes, good. But sometimes I think that when we finally start to put down the masks and be who we are and make decisions based on our values, sometimes it feels like kind of scary if we're not used to doing that. It can feel kind of stressful. So that might be why you're kind of like having some doubts. So yeah, I'm curious if that resonates with you. You said, I've been quiet lately when I need to speak up, but I keep the peace by leaving the topic alone. That makes total sense. So this card is saying, yeah, it's definitely time to speak up. And yeah, okay. Thank you for sharing that, because that totally makes sense why this card came up for you. So yeah, it's definitely encouraging you to speak up when you feel the need to speak up. All right. Okay, so Shushri. Okay, I'm gonna put your question on the screen here. Okay, so where is it now? Okay, Shushri, you said, me and my person, we are involved since 9 months, but the hot and cold energy ain't stopping. There's no commitment. Is this relationship good for me to wait? Okay, let's shuffle the cards and see. So 9 months, a lot of hot and cold energy, no commitment. And you're wondering if it's going to change, if it's going to turn into something worthwhile, or if it's going to continue the way it is. Okay, so the card that you most need to see right now in relation to this question is, Three of Cups. All right. Three of Cups is a party card. This is a card of friendship, of coming together, celebrating, partying, having a good time. And my question to you is this relationship fun? The Three of Cups is really encouraging you to focus on fun, having fun. It's saying, like, don't take life too seriously right now. This is about having fun, enjoying yourself, celebrating things. Does this relationship help you do that? Or is it sucking away the fun for you? Like, is this relationship so draining that you feel like you're just not in this fun, party time, good mood? The Three of Cups to me is maybe saying this isn't a serious relationship. This is one of those relationships where you can enjoy for a certain amount of time. Maybe the hot and cold energy might feel exciting for a little bit, and you can enjoy that and learn a lot. But ultimately, it may not go anywhere serious. That's kind of one thing I get with this card. I'm just gonna see if, yeah. So is this relationship good for me to wait? I feel like this is a good relationship to enjoy while you can. I don't know if it's the kind of relationship to really hold out for. So if you're enjoying yourself right now, if you're having fun, then it's an okay relationship to remain in just for that. But I think holding out and waiting for this relationship to change into something totally different than what it is right now, you might feel disappointed. The other thing I get with the Three of Cups is don't neglect your friendships right now. Even if this is the kind of relationship that's just sucking all of your time and energy, don't neglect your friends and your friendships. This is a time right now to really prioritize your friendships and your other relationships. So don't just prioritize this relationship. And it does sound like it's hot and cold. It sounds like it might be taking a lot of your time and energy. And so the Three of Cups is saying, start redirecting that energy into your friendships and into your social life. Start nurturing your social life and making that a priority and getting out there, having fun, having a good time, celebrating things, making that the priority, not the relationship. And if the relationship, when you're making other people, other things the priority, I think that relationship is either going to wither and die or disappear, or it's going to transform that relationship somehow. So that's kind of an interesting experiment that you could do. But yeah, that's what I get with that card. So thank you so much for your question. I hope that it was helpful. Oh, Swaro, you said I asked a silly question about tarot and cats. I don't think I saw it. Okay. Have you ever done readings for your cats? And how did you go about doing it? I am wanting to do one for my little black cat. Oh, okay. I don't think I've ever done a tarot reading for my cats. I know I've read about topics related to my cats. Like, I was worried about my boy cat years ago. He had a health issue, so I think I did a reading around that. I've had foster cats that I've done readings about, but not for. I don't think I've ever done a reading for a cat. How would you go about doing it? I mean, you would just, I think if you want to read for your cat, I love this question. This is so fun. I think if you want to do a reading for your cat, make sure that they're there in the room. You can sit with them. And what I would do is I'd shuffle my cards and then I'd fan them out and see if your cat goes to a particular card and sniffs it or puts its paw on a particular card. Give it the opportunity to choose a card. And yeah, you could design a spread ahead of time, depending on what you're wanting insight into and what your questions are for your cat. But this sounds fun. This sounds like a fun thing to do. I like it. Oh, Sarah, yay. Okay, you said you're participating in my upcoming class. Woohoo! Thank you. Thank you for signing up. And you're looking forward to it. I'm experiencing an unexpected scenario, looking for the best perspective. Okay, so I think you want me to draw a card for you. I'm just going to reread your. Okay. Okay, so you're looking for the best perspective for this unexpected scenario. Okay, so let's see what card comes up for you. Okay, so what card does Sarah need to see right now in relation to this question? Three of Cups, same as last time. Now, I will tell you, I really shuffled this deck since the last reading. So interesting that the same card has come up. So looking for the best perspective. An unexpected scenario, looking for the best perspective. So Three of Cups is a lighthearted card of fun, friendship, having a sense of humor. I think rolling with the punches and having a sense of humor might be one particular perspective. There's also kind of a seize the day, live in the moment vibe with this card. There's also a sense of like celebrating when you can. So all of those are messages I get with this card. Also like friendship, bonds, and connections with others might be important for you at this time. So yeah, reaching out to others, not spending time alone. That's some advice I get from this card is this isn't a good time to isolate. This is a time to reach out to others. And also, you said an unexpected scenario, and the Three of Cups is kind of about not taking life too seriously. And like I said, it's a party time card. It's about having fun, having a sense of humor, not taking things too seriously. But I want to draw a second card just to see what it is. So the other card I get for you is the Sun. Okay. See, I was doubting this card because I'm like, this was the last card I got. Is it just the energy from that last reading that's coming through with this one? But the Sun is like, no, because the Sun is like the same energy as Three of Cups in a lot of ways. Both of these cards are playful. They're both playful. The Sun is about being open. And actually, if you look at the baby on the Sun, arms are open wide. If you look at the women on the Three of Cups, they all have that same body language. And there's a dancey quality to both of these cards. The poodle, the dog on the Sun, is dancing, trotting, prancing. The women are prancing. So there's this prancy, dancy energy with both of these cards. So the best perspective, I think, having almost an optimistic, open perspective, being open-minded, being open to new ways of seeing and doing things, being playful, being optimistic. That's what I'm getting with these two cards. So hopefully that makes sense. Hopefully that helps. Okay, Laura, you said, do you live near Toronto? I do not. I don't live anywhere near Toronto. I'm on the West Coast. All right. Music AC, hello. Music AC, I think that you have been, if you're the same channel, I think you are. I feel like you've been to all my lives, which is really cool. All right. Please make a video about doing a reading for your cat if you do one. Okay, I will if I do that. Lilacs Adore. Hello, welcome. I'm glad you're here. Okay, this is a fun one. All right. So, Mitchie, there's a person I'm interested in. They are quite talkative and funny. When I talk to them, it seems that they're the one for some reason. Can I ask if my intuition is right, or if it's wrong, then why? Okay. I'm probably not going to be able to answer whether this person is the one for you. But let's draw a card and just see what the cards have to say about this topic. Okay, what card does Mitchie need to see right now in regards to this question? The Tower. Okay. This is a super intense card. Okay, so you got the Tower. The Tower this is a very chaotic card, and it's a shaking up of energies. But you know what? It also, so an alternate view of the tarot, and this is definitely an X-rated, it's an X-rated interpretation of this card. So another description I've heard of the Tower is that it represents an orgasm. So it's like an energy being released, like this buildup of energy. And we've got the lightning, we've got the explosion at the top of this shaft thing that's the Tower. So there's a phallic symbol on this card, and also this explosive orgasmic energy. So there's this building up. So I think that there's something about this person that for you builds up some of that sexual energy that feels exhilarating and feels really exciting. So sometimes we meet people like that we're kind of an energetic match to. I think they just call that having chemistry, right? When you have chemistry with someone. And the way that you describe this person, this could be someone that you have a lot of chemistry with, which could be really exciting. And also sometimes it's disastrous when we have a lot of chemistry with someone and we get together with them. And sometimes it can be a disaster in the end. But whether it's exciting or a disaster, it's going to be exciting nonetheless. And so the Tower doesn't always represent disaster, but it does represent energy building to a peak, coming to a head, and then kind of exploding. So your question was, is my intuition right or is it wrong? I think that your intuition is right in that you have some kind of energetic chemistry with this person. Whether they are the one for you, I don't know. I don't really believe in the one. I don't believe in soulmates in that sense, that there's just one person for us. But I do think that this is to me, it's like you're drawn to this person for a reason. I'm going to draw a second card just because the Tower is so intense. Oh, okay. So here we have Page of Swords. Okay, so we've got the Tower and we've got Page of Swords. All right. So Page of Swords. Okay, there's something about this person that is exciting to you, but also there's something about being with this person that will kind of throw you off your game. You're going to have a hard time maintaining a sense of groundedness and stability around this person for some reason. So the Page of Swords, he's struggling to find his footing and that sense of stability. He's often kind of doubting himself. He's mistrusting. So if you were to pursue this relationship, it might be super intense. It might also be, it has the potential to be very challenging in some ways for you, a big learning experience. So that's all I'm going to say about that, because these are both pretty intense cards. But the Tower feels exciting to me. It doesn't necessarily feel negative. It feels exciting. But the Page of Swords, he definitely seems like he's kind of struggling to feel a sense of stability, if that makes sense. Thank you for your question. That was a fun one to explore. All right. Okay. Music AC. I'm going to give you a general reading. Okay. So I'm going to do a couple more readings and then I'm going to sign off. And I just want to remind everyone, if you have any questions for me about learning tarot, giving a reading, feel free to ask that. And again, just a little reminder, I'll be teaching a 4-week class starting on Sunday. I'm really excited about this class. It's called A Date with Your Tarot Deck. And there's only 2 more days to sign up. So if you want to sign up, I'm going to post the link in the chat. But there's, just a couple more days to sign up. I don't know if I'm going to offer this course again in the future. So if you check it out and you're like, oh, this looks cool, this might be the only time I do it. We'll see. But yeah, just a couple more days to sign up if you're interested. Okay, so I got 6 of Swords for you. Okay. So the 6 of Swords, and here we have a snake again. I feel like this is like the 3rd or 4th card we've had today with a snake on it. So there's a little red snake following the guy in the boat. I really like this deck. This is so interesting. Okay, so for a general reading, the 6 of Swords represents a journey of sorts. It can also represent a transition, but I feel like it's not so much a transition as a journey. And so I get a couple of things as I look at this card. So I get 3 things. Okay, so it feels like you are either about to go on a journey or a transition, or you've already started that journey. And to me, the red snake feels protective. It feels like a spirit guide or an animal spirit that's like protecting you, watching over you, providing encouragement and support. And those are the first 2 things I got. The other thing I get is it feels like you're ready to make some sort of shift or some sort of change. And if you feel like you're ready for some kind of change, but you're not ready to take a big step, start with little steps. And you can even start by kind of shaking up the usual routine in your day. So often when I talk about the 6 of Swords, I'll say, you can shake up your routine in tiny ways. Like if you normally always go to the same place for coffee, go to a different place. If you normally walk the same route somewhere, try a different route. Like just try a small little thing that kind of changes the energy in your day, kind of makes a mini shift. And those mini shifts can lead to bigger shifts. So that's the 3rd thing I get with this card. But it does feel like you're about to embark on some sort of journey, some sort of transition, and it feels really exciting. So good luck to you. Okay. All right. So I'm going to take one more thingy, one more question. Okay. I'm just going to scroll up. And I apologize if I haven't pulled a card for you. If you asked for reading and I didn't, I apologize. I'm just going to scroll up and just choose one more question to read on. All right, so I'm going to do a reading for I'll do a reading for Honey. Honey, the influence. I hope you're still here, Honey. Actually, if you are still here, Honey, let me know in the comments and let me know what your question is, because I missed it. And I just see your messages saying that I missed it, but not what the question is. So let me know what your question is and I'll pull a card for you. Dakota, you said, oh my God, I had no idea you were Canadian, Kate. Sending so much love from Ontario. Yay. Thank you, Dakota. Okay. All right, so I'm going to pull a card for Honey the Influence. What's coming for me in career in doing online business life coaching? Okay. So how long have you been doing online business life coaching? Have you been, is this new? Is this a new business? Is this something that you've been doing for a while, but only just transitioned to doing it online? Let me know if this is like a new career for you or an old career. Or maybe you're getting the online coaching. Are you the coach or are you getting coached? Because that's the question I have for you. Okay, so I'm shuffling my cards here. Okay, so you're starting new. You've been building, but nervous to fully step into it. Okay, perfect. Okay, so I'm going to put and yes, you are the coach. Perfect. Thank you for clarifying. Okay, so I'm going to draw a card for you. What card does Honey need to see in relation to her question? Ooh, Four of Wands. Okay, this is a beautiful card to end on, actually. And actually, you know what? I'm going to finish this live by pulling a card for all of us, like a general reading. So stay tuned for that. Okay, so Honey, and I love your name. This is a great card to get. So Four of Wands. Four of Wands is a card of stability. So you're saying what's coming from me in career. This has the potential to be something that provides a sense of stability for you. I think your role as a coach isn't just to inspire people, but it's to hold a space. If you look at these Four Wands, they're creating a space and there's this little family of bunnies there. But the Four of Wands is about creating a space and holding that space. And that is a big part of what you do as a coach for people. But something else I want to say about this card is, and I know that you're doing this online business life coaching, but you might also want to think about connecting with your community where you live as well. So if you when you're online, it's like the world is, who you're marketing to or trying to get clients from. It's like a big landscape. And sometimes focusing on your local environment and the community that you physically live in can yield better results. So don't limit yourself to just being online. Like you might even think about doing some free talks like in your community about online business. That's actually how I got started with my online business. Is I knew a lady who did a free talk. She advertised it in the local paper. It was a free workshop or talk about starting an online business. And I went to it and I got so inspired. And she was also, I think, a business coach. I ended up not working with her, but it inspired me. It got me started. So that might be something to think about doing if you don't have immediate success with doing it online, is to think about teaching workshops locally, offering talks and things like that. There's this piece of community with the Four of Wands that feels really important to me, and that's something that you want to focus on. And this might be, you might be a part of certain online communities that will kind of help you get started, but building community in some way. And like when you have an online business, you've got to create content and things like that, and really like thinking about the community that you're wanting to serve and the community that you're wanting to help, I think is going to help you kind of get on the right track. But this is a really great card to get, Four of Wands. in this situation. Yeah. Okay. And I think you said you're nervous to fully step into it. I think though, like there's a piece with the Four of Wands about serving your community that feels really important. And I think if you focus on that, on being of service, some of that nervousness is going to subside. All right, so I'm going to draw a card from my Rider Waite deck for everyone. So this is like a general reading. So thank you so much, honey, for your question. All right. And I apologize for those of you who I missed. I know there's quite a few of you who posted questions and I did not get to you, and I am sorry, but I have to go. I have something coming up at 2:00 and I have to get ready for it. But I want to draw a card for everyone. So just like a general card. Okay, so I'm going to ask my cards, what card do we all need to see right now? What do we need to keep in mind or focus on as we move through the rest of our day? And this is just a general reading for everyone. All right. The card I got here is, oh, interesting. Page of Pentacles. So this is interesting because this was the very first card that came up at the beginning of this live. And then it came up at sometime later. And this is actually the fourth time, I believe, this card has come up. The fourth time, because it came up with the other deck as well. So really interesting that this one card came up 4 times already. This is the 4th time. So Page of Pentacles, this is the card we all need to see. And so now I think it makes sense why this card kept popping up for us again and again and again. So the Page of Pentacles, this is a card of learning new skills, being open to learning, and being able to lean into our student side. Being in learning mode is going to be important today. I also get the sense that caring for our physical needs is important. So making sure you eat, a nutritious, well, it's almost 2:00, so it's past lunchtime. I haven't eaten lunch yet. So maybe this card is just for me to like, come on, Kate, eat lunch. So yeah, providing, being able to nurture your physical self and meet your physical needs is another thing I get with the Page of Pentacles. But I also get the sense that this is also about observation. As I look at the Page of Pentacles and I notice what he's doing, he's just observing the pentacle in front of him. And I think that this is the message today, is pay attention, observe what's happening in front of you, be present. I mean, I know this is really vague. This is really general, but I feel like he's saying, be present. When things are presented to you, observe them, have a look at them, pay attention. Is there anything that you can learn from this particular situation? Is there anything that you need to learn? That's kind of what I'm getting with the Page of Pentacles. So Swirl, you said, funny you said that card is for you. I thought the same thing. Yes. Yeah, it's definitely been a day of pages, that's for sure. Okay, so I'm going to put my cards away. So thank you so much, everyone, for joining me and hanging out with me. And I totally forgot to show everyone my new crystal. I got this, it's a pink Lemurian quartz crystal. And it's super pretty. And I meant to show it at the beginning of this live because I always like to have a crystal with me when I do reading. So I've had this on my table, but this is my special reading crystal that I had today. So yeah, thank you so much, everyone, for joining me live. And thank you to everyone who asked questions and allowed me to read for them. And it's massive. How does it feel? It's actually quite heavy. It's got a lot of weight to it. And it's got like a really nice, light, buzzy, warm energy. Like it's cold to the touch, but it has like a feeling of warmth, like being hugged by someone in a fuzzy pink sweater. That's what this crystal feels like. Dakota, you said Lemurian quartzes are so powerful. Yeah. Oh yeah, for sure. Yeah, Honey, you said, "How can I get a personal reading?" So I actually don't offer personal readings year round. I offer them in January and New Year's, and I offer them in the summertime, usually in June or July, August. So I offer personal readings twice a year. So to be notified of the next time I'm offering personal readings, you can get on my mailing list. And actually, I should put that in the chat here for those of you who want to get on my list, my mailing list. Um, okay, let me find where that is here. All right. Okay, so here is um, here's how to get on my list. And I'm gonna put I've got 3 free gifts. I'm gonna put it in the chat here. So there's 3 different free gifts. If you click on any of them and fill out the form, you'll get on my list. And then yeah, I've got 3 free goodies. So I've got like a free audio download, free planner worksheets, free court card cheat sheet. So if you get on my list, then I'll let you know when I'm offering private readings again. So yeah, okay. Thank you everyone for being here, and I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day. See you later. Bye-bye.